My name's Cleo Lake and I'm the current chair of St Paul's Carnival, and I'm a resident of St Paul's, originally from Easton, and I've got a long history of being involved in jungle drum and bass music. Well, I'm a first generation Bristolian because my dad was from Jamaica and my mum was born in Hove near Brighton but grew up in Staffordshire, and in fact her parents were country and western singers. But I think when my dad came, it was hard for him to get accommodation, you know, the usual story, because he was black. And I think the vibe generally developed to be quite positive in the late 70s, early 80s in St Paul's. And from what I can remember and what people tell me, the Rastafarian movement was very strong, and in some ways St Paul's as an area and verging into Easton was almost a law unto itself, and it had a very strong community. I think definitely helped by the music. People brought their culture from Jamaica over, and because coming off the back of not having your own clubs that you could go to and establishments, then people did set up their own parties or would play their sound on the street, and music is an essential part of the culture.
So what role do you think events like St Paul's Carnival play in bringing that community together, like you say?
Well, it's up for debate really. I think the event itself has got so large and different people managing it over the years and transitions that it does bring excitement in the community, maybe the week before, but generally what I'm trying to do is, and other people are trying to work a bit more, make it a year-long thing, and in a sense echo bringing it back to its roots. I think you'll find female artists trying to make it will be stuck with having to sleep their way to the top, and if they don't, that's going to be an issue. I think people who've got all the power tend to be men, and I don't know, possibly middle-class white men. I think the music industry itself is corrupt and has lost its way big time. I think we need to take it back, and in doing that hopefully we can push on the artists who should be out there for the right reasons, not the wrong reasons.
How do you think it's helped with relations between the St Paul's community and wider Bristol, and bringing Bristol together as a whole? It's certainly something that people come to from all over.
Definitely. Well, the St Paul's Festival originated and was started, one of the bases of it was to get rid of the stereotype of St Paul's and the people who lived here, and to bring a positive image of St Paul's, because it was a no-go area and media didn't give it a good press. So part of it was to attract people down to share the culture and pick up the vibes. So I think it's done amazing work to bring Bristol to the area and also connect Bristol, and it's really a community building exercise. It was more around the time of when we classed everything as rave music, so a bit like Prodigy, other stuff, and then we'd go to these nights. There was nights like Sutra, clubs like Depot, Trinity, Bristol Exposure was one of the nights, later Mutiny, and it was really rave. And then there was a turning point where, say, you had techno, early jungle, all blurred into one bracket, but then there was a clear division in the early 90s where it branched off into different genres, and we were very much on the junglist vibe. For us, it was kind of connecting to source for many people, because it came really from, like most musical things and most cultural things that we don't get a lot of credit for, it came via Jamaica and the Caribbean and that kind of migration really. But also it was very, junglist was very much a collaboration, and the working class white people, I would say, were very much part of it. But it was something that brought people together, and it was much more than a music, it was an actual movement. But then when it got more commercialised and we were told it was drum and bass, it became a music, but it was a culture. Just like hip-hop, it was a culture before it was a music. So we always knew in our hearts that jungle and being a junglist was quite an important mission, and it was quite militant. and it was very important to be on that dance floor for as long as you could to create energy with other people, and the role that the DJ and the music and the MC played in that was integral. And I don't really rave out that much nowadays, probably will at Carnival, but yeah, and I would say people like, on a final note, people like Joe Peng were massive pioneers of the movement, because he's been there all the way from hardcore rave to the present day in laid black, and you know, those people really did pave the way and represented multicultural UK, but also with a clear Jamaican influence in that. So I'm very proud of it. Well, it was moved on from roots because, of course, as you know, a lot of the samples may have come from reggae or roots music, and the bass line is integral. But I would say it moved more into entertainment at times, but there was that element of spirituality within chaos at times, I think. So, dubstep. My definition would be something that has got a strong bass line. You would need to feel or acknowledge a connection to reggae or dub music within it. It's electronically made. It uses different frequencies and technology to make you feel a certain way. It's creative and it's an evolution, but I don't know if I'd want to listen to it all night.